Within the measurement and geometry section of your LANTITE exam, you will be asked to demonstrate your ability to answer questions about space and shapes. This lesson will guide you through the knowledge you'll need to know for exam day. Geometry is all about understanding shapes and their properties. Now, let's dive into plane geometry. Keep in mind that plane geometry deals with shapes that lie flat, like lines, circles, and triangles. Shapes on a plane are all flat or two-dimensional. Next, when we talk about solid geometry, we're referring to three-dimensional shapes like cubes, prisms, cylinders, and spheres. These are the shapes you can pick up, hold, and examine from every angle. Now, let's move on to basic geometric elements, starting with a point, which has no dimensions, just a position. Next up, we have our line, which is one-dimensional, extending infinitely in both directions. Another basic geometric element is called the plane, which is two-dimensional, like a flat surface extending infinitely. And lastly, for this section, you also want to be familiar with a solid, which is three-dimensional with depth, width, and height. Still with me? Great job with that first section. Next, we're moving to a refresher about 2D shapes. Keep in mind that a plane or 2D shape has two dimensions, width and height, but no depth or thickness. Specifically, let's talk about regular polygons. Now, a polygon is a flat 2D shape made up of straight sides. For a polygon to be regular, all its sides and angles must be equal. In the next set of slides, I'll show you a shape and you say yes if it's a regular polygon and no if it's not. Let's begin. Is this a regular polygon? It sure is, because it's a 2D shape with all sides the same length. How about this? Is this a regular polygon? No, because its sides are not the same. Alright, how about this one? Is this a regular polygon? Tricky, tricky. The answer is no. Although its sides are the same, this is a 3D shape and regular polygons must be 2D. Alright, last one. Is this a regular polygon? Congrats, you're right. Yes, this is a regular polygon because it is a 2D shape and its sides are all the same. Now let's move on to other common polygons. For example, polygons that are not regular. Examples include a quadrilateral, which is any four-sided 2D shape, as well as a rectangle, which has four sides and all right angles. Regarding non-regular polygons, there are many more, but those are two common examples. Next up, we also have curve shapes, which are also 2D shapes that are not polygons because they have curves. Examples include circles and ellipses. Your exam will ask you to demonstrate your understanding about the properties of different shapes, so let's go over that now. First up are triangles. Recall that a triangle has three sides and three angles, and the three angles always add to 180 degrees. Remember that there are three names given to triangles that tell how many sides or angles are equal, and these are equilateral, isosceles, and the scalene triangles, where equilateral triangles have three equal sides, three equal angles, which are always 60 degrees. Then we have the isosceles triangle, which has two equal sides and two equal angles. Excellent. Moving on, next is the scalene triangle, which has no equal sides and no equal angles. Pause the video here to make sure you can recall the differences on test day. Moreover, triangles also have the names that tell you what type of angle is inside. Can you pause the video here and recall the names of each of these angles? Alright, let's go over that now. Recall that an acute triangle has all angles that are less than 90 degrees. Then there's the right angle, which has a 90-degree angle. And to the right is the obtuse triangle, which has an angle greater than 90 degrees. For our next properties of shapes, we're moving on to quadrilaterals, which means a shape with four sides that is two-dimensional, closed, meaning there are no spaces or gaps between the lines, and that it has straight sides where the interior angles add to 360 degrees. Let's go deeper and look at common quadrilaterals that include are rectangle, square, rhombus, parallelogram, trapezium, and kite. Pause the video here and try to identify the key properties in each shape before we cover those next. Excellent. Recall that a rectangle is a four-sided shape where all the angles are right angles. The opposite sides are parallel and have the same length. Up next, a square has sides of equal length and all four angles are right angles. The opposite sides are parallel. A square also meets the criteria for both a rectangle with all angles at 90 degrees and a rhombus with all sides of equal length. A rhombus is a four-sided shape where all the sides are of equal length. The opposite sides are parallel and the opposite angles are equal. One unique feature of a rhombus is that its diagonals intersect at the center, forming right angles and cutting each other in half. A rhombus is also sometimes referred to as a diamond. Then we have the parallelogram. Parallelogram, which is a shape where the opposite sides are both parallel and equal in length. Additionally, the opposite angles are equal. It's important to note that squares, rectangles, and rhombuses are all types of parallelograms. A trapezium is a four-sided shape with one pair of opposite sides that are parallel. And finally, this is the kite, and it has two pairs of sides. Note that each pair is made of two equal length sides that join up. Also, the angles where two pairs meet are equal. Enjoying the LANTITE test prep video lessons? Take your preparation to the next level with our full-length LANTITE numeracy practice test from lantiteprep.com. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.